ahead, sweet cheeks." He flashed me a full frontal nightmare. "We're private here." I covered my eyes. I had to. Please, God, don't let that be the last sight I behold. At 19, I wasn't much older than Herb. The gap in our ages was only 2 years. But for pity's sake, grow up. "You want to see what you're missing?" Call it morbid curiosity, but vigorous grunting sounds dragged my hand down my face. It took a second for what I saw to register. I admit it. I stared. My mind spluttered. No freaking way. Refusing to process the information, while my eyes screeched, "Make it stop! Make it stop!" and begged to be gouged out. Jinn and their lamps scoffed at the laws of physics. Otherwise, you couldn't stuff a grown man or woman into a 6-inch space, even with magical lubricating mist. So part of me grasped that it was possible for a jinn to cram things larger than the circumference of their lamp spout into its opening. But I had obviously never considered other possible uses for that hole that would occur to a teenage boy. Herb's energetic hip thrusting made me wince in sympathy, and I didn't have any dangly bits. Seriously, wouldn't that much friction chafe? Finally, embarrassment won out, and I managed to tear my gaze from the wannabe porn star long enough to cook up a decent plan. Reeling in the fine silver chain around my neck, I fished a quarter-sized medallion from inside my t-shirt, the one sporting a heap of cartoon chickens and aptly emblazoned Fustercluck, and closed my hand over it. My thumb found the familiar grooves where a plain Triskele had been stamped into the center, and I worried the slight indentation. The magic-imbued pendant had come standard with the rest of the martial equipment issued to me by the Southwestern Conclave after I completed the Martial Academy. At the time, it had served one purpose. It summoned the Morrigan. But the Morrigan, who is now my mother-in-law, overlaid the original enchantment with a slightly less legal version as a welcome to the family gift the last time I summoned her. Now the talisman was a direct line to her. Yay? As well as a pocket portal that linked to the closet in my office. I raised my left hand, spoke my word, and the spell holding my glove in place relaxed. The dozens of intricate runes starting at my fingertips and creeping up my wrist cast soft emerald light that illuminated the area around me. I held the design on the tip of one finger against the Triskele while picturing a small room with a locked door, a safe place where I could hide what I didn't want found. With my eyes shut, I imagined myself unlocking the door and reaching inside the room. I rifled through the gloom until I located what I was looking for, the sleek black pelt of a hound, and then I let myself have it. When I cracked my eyes open, dark fur overflowed my hand, pooling on my lap. Soft footsteps had me twisting around to check on Herb. No sign of him, his lamp, or the teddy. Raising my chin, I inhaled the scents of starch, fabric softener, the spice bomb cologne. Time to put my plan into action. I lifted the skin and draped it across my back, tugging the nose over my head until I peered through the shriveled slits where its eyes had been. A few tense heartbeats later, it stuck, making me shudder while the world shifted from full color to muted yellows, blues, and grays. With a shiver, I shook out my fur and trotted after Herb's spicy, sweet scent. He knew where I had hidden. Whatever game he was playing, I wanted it finished. The guy had low-end tastes. His larcenous grand total might hit $1,000 if I included the box of Milk Duds he pocketed at the grab-and-go on Hendricks Boulevard. Herb was misguided, not dangerous. His wasn't a high-priority case, except to me. 3 wishes. How much of a hot mess of a life could those fix? I wish I had never met Rook. I wish for an evergreen money tree grove that auto-updated portraits, seals, serial numbers, ink, border, and paper. Oh yeah, and I wish I had never met Rook. Padding across the floor, I swiveled my ears, listening for the sound of heavy breathing. Nothing. Nada. Zero.